It started out as a small cash and carry nursery in Muskogee in 1945. 76 years later, Greenleaf Nursery has grown into the third largest nursery in the entire country. Steve Shaw traveled to Cherokee County this week to tour this environmentally friendly economic engine.
We'll avoid branches that have flower buds on them because all the energy is going here and we don't want that. So we'll take one of these like this and we'll just take our clippers and snip it off like that.
Mark Andrews has worked at Greenleaf Nursery for 25 years. This 600-acre spread that basically sits on a peninsula of Lake Tenkiller has been home base since 1957, when John Nickel bought the land 35 miles east of Muskogee, next to Tahlequah.
The most popular plants by far are hydrangeas and roses.
Greenleaf boasts more than 7,000 varieties of plants. 95% come from cuttings like these, which are replanted into different size, what are called lining trays.
Every day we essentially will irrigate in the summertime over 1 million gallons of water a day, and we have a water retention recycling system here in place. And so in the heat of summer, we expect that we'll recapture about 50 to 60% of that water.
Greenleaf's massive inventory distributes to different independent garden centers all over the U.S., east of the Rocky Mountains, places that include Southwood in Tulsa and TLC in Oklahoma City.
We beautify America.
Greenleaf president and CEO Randy Davis got a summer job at Greenleaf in 1971 when he was 16 years old. A rock star work ethic spurred the company to pay Randy's way at Oklahoma State, where he earned a degree in horticulture.
You know, we make the environment better. And along with that, we believe in making the environment better, so we recycle all of our water. So we spent the money to catch all of our runoff water and recycle it so that none of it runs back into Lake Tenkiller. And we recycle our plastic. So all this plastic you see on these overwintering houses, and there's over 30 miles of plastic, we bale that with essentially a round hay baler, a modified round hay baler, into bales, and then we send that in for recycling. And we've actually won several awards, and just a couple of years ago won the governor of Oklahoma's award for recycling and for taking care of the environment.
Greenleaf has a second 500-acre location where they grow trees at nearby Fort Gibson along the Arkansas River. They have another 600-acre location just southwest of Houston in El Campo, Texas, and 300 more acres in Tarboro, North Carolina. Depending on the time of the year, Greenleaf employs as many as 1,200 people. At Greenleaf's 2 Oklahoma locations alone, annual payroll exceeds $15 million.
Now, we have a lot of people who come in without degrees, who just learn the business and get in the groove and work hard, and there's always a place for them to move up.
Tahlequah Chamber of Commerce CEO Nathan Reed says Greenleaf is one of the largest employers in Cherokee County.
This location within a 100-mile area of Tahlequah has 105 locations that they export products to. Now within that 100 miles, what they do is they sell those products and they bring that money back to Tahlequah. They pay their employees with that money. They reinvest that here in this community. And in that reinvestment, what that does is that grows our economy, puts new money into our system, and any new money that comes in, that's what really grows your economy.
The big wild card Greenleaf's massive operation deals with is always the weather.
2 years ago, when we had the flood over on the Arkansas River Valley, our Fort Gibson nursery was completely covered up with water. So we lost all of our product in that flood 2 years ago. It was about $9 million worth of product that was there at that nursery, and we had to recover from that. But you know, we deal with that. We have our Texas nursery and our North Carolina nursery are close to hurricane areas, so we have to deal all the time with hurricanes and how to pump water off the nursery and protect our nurseries. So we really, the environment is our biggest concern.
Our greenhouses, if you put them end to end, they would go about 38 miles. So I tell people, if you picture, cover a highway, that's about how wide our houses are, for 38 miles, and it'd be one continuous tunnel. So when you start piling hundreds, maybe 1,000 pounds of ice on top of those things, they don't always handle that really well. So we really have to go into action, try to keep those houses as warm as we can, keep them shedding that ice.
And you know, people will sometimes say, do you have insurance on your plants? And we'll say, well, sorta. And it's miles and miles and miles of plastic.
In Cherokee County, Steve Shaw, the Oklahoma News Report.
Steve, thanks. And that college diploma that Randy Davis received thanks to Greenleaf, well, the CEO has since returned the favor by helping several other Greenleaf employees obtain their college degrees.